This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Friday. You want dedication? Uber Beaner is on vacation, and that's dedication. And he's at Mazatlan, Mexico, and he says he's still enjoying the show. Love you, brother. Well, we love you, Uber Beaner. Thank you, sir. He's vacationing and still watching the show. That shows you right there, dude. How about that? And there he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Manny Navarro, ready to rock and roll. Manny, are you going to join us next Saturday at Caneswear? Because we're going to do a special Saturday show at Caneswear on Saturday next week. Do you know why?
Well, I think Tyler Van Dyke's going to be there, isn't he? There you go.
Oh, my man. Tyler Van Dyke is going to be doing a signing starting at 1 o'clock. So we're going to get off the air by 1 o'clock because, it's just going to be a nut house there. But for all of you out there that are getting tickets and are going to go see Tyler Van Dyke, we're going to, do our thing. So if you want to switch your Friday hit to Saturday and come on by and, say hi to all the great fans out there and do a little Canes hit at Caneswear, you're more than welcome. I just want you to know.
Well, I appreciate it. I unfortunately I have a conflict of interest. It is my nephew's first birthday party, and we're driving up to Jacksonville Friday night to be there, be up there with my brother. That's where he lives. He lives up in the St. Augustine, Jacksonville area in St. Johns County. So yeah. So it hurts. It hurts for me to say no because I want to be there and interacting with the fans and TVD, see him who I've had on the podcast before. Cool dude. I like hanging out with TVD and talking to TVD. So, unfortunately, I'm going to be out of pocket, but I will be available that Friday before I leave for St. Johns County.
Okay, so I'm going to give you this on Tuesday.
Okay,
and then I want you to bring me back some Fountain of Youth, since
right, St. Augustine, right?
Okay. By the way, that tastes like shit. Right? Did you ever try it?
I have not. No.
Yeah. Well, I tried it like in the 70s.
Okay.
So I can't imagine what it tastes. I don't even know what it tastes like now. I don't even know if it's still,
right, available.
I don't even know if it's, still shooting out water from that hole that they had there.
Right.
They used to get a little cup and then, they'd hand it to you and you taste it and you're like, what the hell? It's terrible. It's like you feel like, wait a minute, am I in Mexico? Am I about to get sick or what? It's just one of those deals.
Not tasty. No.
Yeah, no, not tasty. So just in case, if you get these smart ass ideas and you want to go find out about the Fountain of Youth, don't try it. I'm just telling you.
All right, I will not. I will take your recommendation wholeheartedly.
I will look out for you on that one. I will definitely protect you. All right. You talked about it last time. It happened already. Daryl Porter Jr.
Yeah,
he passes up FSU, LSU, and Oregon, and chooses Miami.
Yeah, not really a surprise, after I called his father on Wednesday and talked to him for a while, it just made sense. Jamila Dai was Miami's new cornerbacks secondary coach rather, was his freshman coach at West Virginia. So coming home, getting an opportunity to compete for a starting job opposite Tyreek Stevenson. West Virginia lost a lot of guys in the offseason. They didn't have a very good year, and the other starting corner left. They were 6-7. I think, coming home, having an opportunity to play under Mario Cristobal, the excitement of the University of Miami program. And the reality is they didn't really recruit him the first go around. Wasn't like they really pursued him really hard when Mike Rumpf was the DB coach. So I think, this is an opportunity, a second chance for Miami to make good on this kid. And, to me, he's going to be right there with DJ Ivey and Al Blades and Marcus Clark and Takori Couch, all of those guys. It's going to be a good position battle in the summer and the fall once he gets into Miami.
And by the way, Eddie Lepp says, I live up here in St. Augustine, still here, still tastes bad.
So, glad we got listeners helping us out here, brother.
There you go. There you go. Rich V says, Eddie, Daytona here. So there you go. That's the beauty of this show, dude. Like the love is everywhere, bro.
Yeah, man. Everybody
locally, statewide, nationally, internationally. It's all over, bro. It's sick how the crowd is just growing. Manny, we're up to 80,000 downloads a day.
That's unbelievable, brother. I mean, that's just a testament to your hard work and your excellence for doing this for as long as you have, and then changing mediums. Let's face it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
being on the radio for all those years and then reestablishing yourself in this new era
Well,
of
you have to. If you don't
sports
change, if you don't
conversation.
change with the times, bro, the times will run right over your ass. That's what
Oh
I've
yeah,
learned. And when social media became a part of our business, I knew right away you had to be a part of social media. If not, you're going to fall behind. And a lot of people you saw in our business did not keep up with social media, and that probably
no,
hurt them in their growth in this business. You know what I'm saying? And they probably couldn't grow
absolutely.
because of that. And then now this is the wave. It's not radio and traditional radio TV is dying,
Yep.
like dying on the vine. And so, yeah, man, if we don't change, but we're blessed, man. We're blessed that we're able to change and able to create. I think what we're doing now, dude, and now that we added the hockey guys now on top of all of that, it's just
Hmm.
the programming is becoming just complete now. You know what I mean? The
Oh,
South Florida
absolutely.
fan, wherever they live in the world, they can just tune into the show and they know they're going to get all the insiders on. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
No,
I think
you've
it's
done a
cool.
phenomenal job, brother. And the reality is to make it on demand, right? Like to upload these videos on YouTube right away, have them easily downloadable, right? It's your brother there who does all that work. I
Sean,
mean,
bro.
yeah, I think the reality is that's what you need to have nowadays to be successful. I talk to journalism students at UM. Michelle Kaufman invites me to her class every
Me
year to
too.
talk to them.
Me too.
Yeah, and so my message to them is always, hey, be good at everything, man. Don't just be good at writing. Don't just be good at broadcast. Don't be good at radio. If you want to make it in this business, man, you got to know it all. And that's what I try to tell them. And I was one of the first young journalists in this city who grew up sitting next to Edwin Pope at football games, realizing that, putting myself in the position I am now. And so I tell them, hey, you want a blueprint? Do that. Be good at everything, study everything, and make friends because they'll help you.
Yeah.
The good people like Big O are going to help you get to where you want to be.
Yeah, well, we try, and hey, I get helped. I help others. So that's kind of the way it is, man. You have that's the only way you're going to survive, dude. Really, in the
Hmm.
end, and I tell all the people over the years and that being in this business, when they come in, I say, be a sponge, man.
Hmm.
Learn everything in the business, because everybody's so quick to want to be behind the mic and do a radio show. And yeah, okay, a lot of people can do radio shows, and everybody has an opinion, bro, but learn about everything else.
Right.
Learn about the business side of it, which is the reason why we're able to do this is because I also understand the business side of this. We have a lot of people that get into this and they have no idea about the business of radio. And so then they really have no concept of what's going on. And so they're not able to do something like this. They might be able to create a talk show, but they may not be able to do the business model of it. And that's really the challenge of it. But hey, listen, in the end, I'm just glad that, Odyssey's in town and they don't care about radio. And now I get to take over and put this thing together. And now all of our media friends are all
Right.
benefiting from it, which, you know what? That's all that counts, dude. That's it.
Yep.
Let's
Yep.
rock and roll with it. All right. So is there another guy after Daryl Porter that they're going after that we should be keeping our eyes on?
Yeah, there's a defensive end. Well, he's an outside linebacker edge type guy out of UCLA, who started, I think, 15 games of the last 2 years. Mitchell Agud, he's 6'4", 245. I think he comes here and he sort of stands up and rushes the passer if he comes to Miami. But he's another one. He's one of four finalists. Miami's one of four finalists. Oregon, Tennessee, and Washington are the other schools. I think Miami feels good about their stance with this kid. They've taken UCLA. UCLA has sort of a pipeline to Miami now,
I
right?
was just about to say, because his body is Jaylen Phillips.
Right,
Oh,
right.
is his athleticism also Jaylen
Now
Phillips?
that's the part that I try to tell people. The one thing about the transfer portal, what Miami did getting a Jaylen Phillips through the transfer portal is special. That's the home run. It's just like Jermaine Johnson with Florida State last year, who was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year. It's hard to find those guys that are going to come in and be humongously impactful. But I thought Miami did a good job pulling DeAndre Johnson out of Tennessee last year. He came in, he was serviceable, 5 sacks, among the leaders on the team in sacks, a solid starter. I think this kid is more of that sort of ilk, more of a solid addition, a guy who will come in and contribute and be a positive player for you, not a negative. A guy you're going to put out there and he's not going to produce. He's going to produce. Whether or not he's Jaylen Phillips is an entirely different conversation. I think I don't know that he has that first round grade type talent, but I certainly think he has the ability to come in and be a solid contributor here. We're at a position that let's face it,
a huge question mark pass rushing,
huge,
dude.
Yeah, you gotta get guys in here. And look, I had Jafari Harvey on my podcast, on my Wide Right podcast yesterday, the one that came out yesterday, and super talented kid, unbelievable body, looks like a guy who's going to be a first round pick, but he's not producing. He had 2.5 sacks last year. Had the 1 pick 6, which was a huge play against North Carolina, if you remember that game. But other than that, not a lot of great moments for him, and he knows it, and he knows he's got to produce. Mario's all about competition. You bring a kid like Mitchell Agud in, you bring the Jake Lichtenstein kid from USC. You're just bringing in quality older players to come in here and push the younger guys who haven't done it yet to play at their best if they want to get on the field. And if they don't, then these other guys who have produced will be on there. And last year, this kid, actually the last 2 seasons over those 15 starts, only 2 sacks. He hasn't produced. He produces a lot of tackles. He's very good against the run, 6.5 tackles for loss. But as far as sacks, he hasn't produced a ton either. So that's why I'm saying he's not Jaylen Phillips. He's just another guy who I think comes in here and elevates the level of play.
All right, like that. Overall, on the coaching side, is everything done completely, or
no?
Okay, that's what I thought.
No, I think right now, and again, this changes based on Mario's mood every single day, right? This changes on where he settles. But essentially, you still have 1 opening on offense and 1 opening on defense that they have not announced. Now, I think Stephen Field, the tight ends coach, who's recruited well, okay, he got the kid from Alabama to flip to Miami, Jaleel Skinner. He did a good job recruiting the position the year before as well. I think he's in a spot where if they can't find that other tight ends coach that they think is an upgrade, I think he comes back and he does it next year. And then I think on the defensive side, where you have another opening, I think they really want to get somebody who can coach defensive ends. And I've heard a couple names. I don't want to put them out there. One of them I know is an NFL guy. Another guy is a former Auburn guy, I think, who worked under Steele. Those are 2 names that I've heard. And I just think, if you can upgrade that position, you do that. And potentially, I know everybody's like, oh, special teams, you need a special teams coach. The reality is, man, you could have one guy who sort of handles that for the 15 or 20 minutes. They do that in practice. It was Jonathan Packey last year for Miami. They've had other guys in the past. Charlie Strong could do it if you needed to, but I think they'd probably go out and get a special teams analyst who works with these guys the majority of the time. And then you have an assistant coach who kind of floats over and works with them when they need to. So
why does that seem kind of like a half-ass approach to a very important aspect of the game?
I think it's more about fit, right? It's more like, can you get a coach who has both of those qualities, right? Could you get a tight ends coach like a Todd Hartley, right, who did it at Miami before, who's at Georgia? Well, Todd Hartley's not going to come to Miami. I know he was a guy that I think they were certainly interested in having that kind of making that kind of a move because he could do that. I think the issue now is, do you have other guys on the staff, veteran coaches like a Mario Cristobal or Kevin Steele or Charlie Strong, who have done that kind of stuff in their past, where they could handle those responsibilities, and you can share some of it with an analyst, which is essentially what a lot of these programs do now. I mean, there's a lot of people on staff that aren't technically allowed to be on the field working with guys, but there's ways around those rules. There's ways to get these specialists, these especially kicking specialists, to work with these players on their own. So, yeah, I think in a perfect world, you'd have a Todd Hartley who could do both of those things and is one of the better coaches of doing it. In this case, I think you go with the analyst if you can't get, that other coach to the way that you want it. If you can't get the ideal scenario, you get an analyst to come in and handle it.
All right, on the RUiz front, any news there? I always keep asking you that because that man is able to make some news and things happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I know he was trying to do a David Copperfield with the Coral Gables High. That didn't work out. So anything else?
No, listen, he's got all these kids doing commercials for his Life Wallet. He's got all of them paid. I think he's got over 40 players now from Miami signed up with Life Wallet. At some point I'm going to end up talking to him. I haven't had a chance to really have a one-on-one with him. We've chatted in the past, but not it's been those like Twitter group things that they do
Right.
at night, where he's sitting there answering a bunch of questions. At some point, we're gonna hook up and talk, I'm sure. I think, again, what I try telling people is, in this city, there's so many people who, in terms of billionaires, right, rich people who I'm sure want to get their hands in building Miami Stadium. Until those people start talking to Miami's administration, again, I don't see you as a real player. And the one person I would say would probably have an in before Ruiz is Moss, because his brother's on the board at Miami.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
I mean, and so to me, it's kind of like, which path do you take there if you're the University of Miami? And again, we're 11 years away from it happening. Yes, could they break their lease before then? Yeah, maybe a couple of years, but they're going to do it right now in 2022. No.
Imagine if they converted Miami Freedom Park into a Canes / Inter Miami Stadium.
Now that would be spectacular. I would love to see something like that. But again,
Saturday's clash with the MLS and college football.
Right. You would have that clash, and I think ultimately Miami. I think if UM's going to have a stadium, they probably want it to be their own at this point. I mean, that'd be the ideal thing. And somebody like Ruiz or Moss would want to be able to use it in other capacities. There's only 5-6 home games a year, right? I mean,
right. Yeah. No, you got to use it for concerts and festivals and whatever the hell you can come up with. Yeah,
hey, listen, I can't knock them for dreaming of wanting to make this a reality, right? And dreaming of wanting to make it a reality. I can't knock them, but it's so hard for me. Look at how much trouble they've had with the soccer stadium, right? I mean, it's just, you're going to add another one now somewhere in South Florida?
Oh, God. That'll be 3 stadiums in South Florida.
Then you could make a push for the Olympics, I think, at that point, right? You'd finally have enough stadiums to do everything you'd want.
Well, I mean, if the country makes the push, we have a stadium or two to support a couple of things. So, I mean, at least for the summer games, we'll have the baseball stadium for that, at least, you know what I mean? So, yeah, all the other stadiums, soccer will definitely fill in, although that stadium may be too small, actually, for those kind of matches.
Right. I would assume.
Although I think it is going to be in the 30s, but I don't know. Maybe they require even more than that. I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, but at that point, you'd have enough stadiums certainly to host a ton of events here. Anyway, that's another conversation for probably another decade. Oh, I think we got a long way before that happens.
Oh yeah, amen to that. All right, so what do we got going on in the Athletics so folks can subscribe and check you out?
Well, I just had an article. I spoke with Daryl Porter Sr. I posted that one as soon as the kid made his announcement. I was just waiting for him to do it. I was like, I thought it was going to happen Wednesday, so I had the article written, waiting for him, and I was ready to hit send. When are you gonna announce it, kid? And he never did it Wednesday, so it was yesterday and whatever. So it's posted now, and more recruiting stuff. I mean, look, 2023 class, very important. I'm going to come out with a list of the top targets for Miami. And then next Tuesday, I'm actually driving up to Lakeland, where Mario Cristobal is going to be a guest speaker at Lake Gibson High School. Funny story. I'll share this little one here with you. The coach at Lakeland Lake Gibson is a former assistant to Billy Napier at Louisiana. Well, Billy Napier, of course, Florida coach. Yeah, he says, "Hey, I'm gonna go be a guest speaker at Lakeland High, the rival of Lakeland Lake Gibson." So what does the Lake Gibson coach do?
Oh,
hey Mario, you want to come speak to our kids? So now Mario's on his way up there. March 1st, he'll be the guest speaker.
And Mario said, "Hell yeah,
hell yeah, I'll come up there." By the way, Lake Gibson, home to the #1 cornerback in the country next year, Cormani McLean, 5-star elite cornerback. Miami's fighting hard for this kid, so I'll be up there Tuesday for the get together. Funny little story, cute little story of rivalries and competition. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
I just love his relentless approach, dude. I just love his relentless approach. It just it reminds me a lot of what we're doing right here. Our relentless approach, to be honest. Hey, by the way, any news on any NIL deals out there?
Well, you mentioned Chase Smith to me the other day, right? I mean, I got the information there with Edge. What else do I have here? Oh, I mean, there's so many that I get
Edge
texted.
Energy drink. That's right. Chase Smith. And then I ran into Lou Headley's beer, bro.
Yes, that was it. That was it. Yes.
Bay 13 in
Yes.
Coral Gables.
Yes. I have the info
By
here.
the way, for those of you that don't know Bay 13, for those of you that were partying in Alcazaba back in the day, Bay 13 is directly across the street from it on Alhambra Circle, and it is a great bar. Interesting story. The last dog that I adopted, Bono, about almost a year ago. He's a Carolina dog, and yes, it's named after the U2 singer Bono. I adopted him there at Bay 13. They had a whole thing, and we went there to adopt our dog, and then a year later, we're there hanging out at Bay 13, and we're drinking a Lou Headley beer. Deadly Headley is the name of
Yes.
that beer. That is awesome.
I saw your tweet of the bottle and I retweeted it. I love the fact that they got his picture on there and you can see all the tattoos on his neck. That's awesome.
Yes.
He is still the meanest punter. By the way, he is back this coming season. We all thought he was going to be leaving after this year, so we're going to have Deadly Headley for 4 years in Miami. Who would have figured that? The kid's almost 30 and he's still here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, definitely. And by the way, the owners of Bay 13,
yes,
they're Australian.
Mm-hmm.
Just so
makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's why. So there's the connection with Headley. So
yes,
it's all good. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. More importantly, folks, please subscribe to The Athletic. That's kind of the idea. That's what we're doing here. That's what he's doing there. It's all about the locals. So support all of us there. Support The Athletic like I do and many others, and support Manny, who does an excellent job as always. Manny, I appreciate you. Have a great weekend, my friend.
I appreciate it. You too, brother. You too. Take care.
Right, baby. Be good. There you go, the great Manny Navarro, and we're working hard on finalizing a show that you're going to get Manny. You're going to get more Manny Navarro and others as we add a couple of more folks that cover the Canes. All right, that's our Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes report.